Hello and welcome to Let's Plays Disco Elysium part 44. If you'd be so kind, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and if you're so inclined, check out my Patreon. So, I think we were talking
Yo, man,
Noid,
what's on your mind?
Have a conceptualization check to internalize the hardcore aesthetic. So I think we can do this. We just need to dress correctly. Conceptualization. There we go. Nice, lovely shirt. And not those ones. Not those ones. I think we have more. There we go. And the jacket. Oh, very, very, very nice. Not quite that tie. Any hats? Any trousers gonna do it? Doesn't look likely. Well, I guess that will have to do. We've got our smart jacket on.
What's on your mind?
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something to your own, of your own, to understand this list of loosely formed qualities making up hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. Okay, long live the world that gave shape to hardcore to complete itself, a true heir to DeLorean values, 3.5 centuries, and the gift still keeps on giving.
Endless are the wonders born out of the cultural collaboration, so wisely facilitated by the free world.
You take care, Noid. How are my thoughts progressing? Precarious one? Going okay? Still some time to kill? Wasteland of reality. Halfway through. Hardcore aesthetic. What are we even talking about here? Let's talk to Egghead.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind the young man, blasting a familiar song.
He stands on stage, behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side you see an auxiliary line in, with the number 4.5 written next to it.
How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place!
He pumps his fist in the air.
The first page of the second chapter!
His voice echoes all around the grand hall.
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
Alright. Goodbye, Egghead. I think the only one of the rockers we've spoken to is...
Yeah, it's all set up, man.
Andre.
Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000?
Not 10,000, no. He waves his hands in an unbelievably lame, non-hardcore manner.
Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks at the imposing black box in the corner that's churning out the sound.
Now, the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, Detective?
What do you propose as a name, Andre?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
He appears to mull it over, one hand idly touching his hair.
Andre's overthinking it,
Says the girl with the microphone.
Yes, you should do it, Detective. It would be good for the signs.
The speed freak with the yellow beads around his neck is looking at you.
Noid's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
Kim, how would you name the club?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
Oh, Kim.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has
That's the
ideas,
Crabman.
Marcel. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please.
Soona, do you have an opinion on this?
I don't. Good.
Okay.
We have too many opinions anyway.
Estelle, what would you suggest the name to be?
How about something simple? Like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas.
Yakokata! Yakokata! The place to be!
The freak with the large head yells from the stage, waving his hand in the air.
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Egg. Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
A witless, vicious smile adorns his face.
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Noid, give me your 2 cents on this issue.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia!
It's not amnesia, guys.
Okay, I think I've come up with a name.
You have? Well, what's the name?
Disco Elysium.
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
The past is the future, but the future is dead!
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
A light beam washes over the dance floor, bathing it in violet blue.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience.
Start tapping your foot.
It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
Observe his movement.
I'm dancing.
He performs yet another strange pattern of moves, but it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kind of lame.
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing.
Yes, my man.
He jumps up and down with glee, his moves punctuated by the stroboscopic flash of the club lights.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves?
I've been meaning to ask you, what's with the hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure, with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Or is it because you're balding?
Or because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20.
How old are you, Andre?
Not 20.
So is it important to you to be an individual?
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes.
Fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway,
Okay, that's it for now.
goodbye, officer.
Let's get our composure clothes on. So we did have a few, right? There's a few composure clothes. Are we wearing them? Composure +1. So no, we haven't got them all on. I think we had some. We did have them on earlier. Wasn't it like the cool jacket? Yeah, composure. I think we can get one more from somewhere. Glasses, maybe? Not sure. Just compose ourselves. And try to dance. I mean, to be honest, there's a good chance we'll fail this anyway, but there we go, the shoes! That's 3 composure, that's got to give us a reasonable chance, right?
It's good to see you!
No words, just dance.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
Damn it.
Just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it.
Yeah.
Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen? Salvation.
That's it for
Goodbye,
now.
officer.
Okay. Let's see if we can find
Yes, what is it?
the Kokumamadakwa, or whatever it is. How's the project going? I see that your neighbours have moved in, but all I hear is Nordic dance music.
What? What did you say?
She leans closer, eyes knitted together in a puzzled expression. You can barely hear her over the thumping bass of the Nordic dance music. I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
The project, how is it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well!
Her face lights up for a second before she gives you an exaggerated headshake. Why?
There's that guy!
She points at
I need him
Egghead.
to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and yekukata! A place to be, apparently!
I'll speak to him, see what I can do.
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
She does jazz hands to mock him.
Let me know how it goes!
Okay. Egghead.
A better deal! Yeah! Medium car!
Egg, can you please route Soona's signal through your speakers?
To the mega! Yeah!
He gets
I
serious.
can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
3.5, no doubt about it. It's on the ground. Point to it.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
He searches for the cable on the ground and picks it up, looking at the jack.
Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good people!
With a grin, he sticks the plug into the auxiliary line. You hear a satisfying click.
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him! Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg, the music?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the on-off for just a sec for a special scheduled event.
The young man shouts as he clicks the switch on the mixer.
The on-off will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. All right, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes, and then I'll turn off the music.
All right.
Yes, what is it?
All right, I talked to Egghead. He plugged in the cable. Now you can unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? just in case.
Maximum!
Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star.
Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
I think what Egghead is trying to say is the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the church.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready.
Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically.
Good.
Not so stoically, his hand moves to the gun holster.
He's going to shoot the music, the sound. What?
Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow.
Hold on for a moment.
What?
Maybe we shouldn't do this. It's too dangerous on maximum volume too.
No, we should definitely do this. I am going to do this. Ready?
She pauses, looking around the church. Everyone stares at her hand on the keyboard.
Her hand is trembling slightly.
Never mind, let's do this. I'm ready. Woohoo!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine.
Whoa.
It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal clattering in the cupboard fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder.
Says Noid, his eyes riveted on the strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell, then something else, but his voice is growing faint.
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking. The worst high he's ever been on.
It was in me at first.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks as if she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
She looks up. A screech fills the air, a scream of wood and nails. The pillars of the church twist and creak above and around you.
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists, A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
She reaches for the keyboard. Everyone, don't panic. It's beautiful.
Beautiful car! Beautiful life!
Shit! It doesn't stop.
The woman,
Asil, have you?
the woman is furiously pressing down on her keyboard, but the sound doesn't stop.
Yes, I've turned it off.
She yells, holding the contact mic in her hand.
Andre, pull the compressor. The place is going to come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Egghead, it's in the desk. And then it stops, totally and utterly, as if there never was a sound, only your ears still ring with the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
He says calmly.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years.
The woman whispers.
22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it.
Her lip trembles.
Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it, though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
She composes herself, wipes the dust off her sweater, and rests her hands on the keyboard.
Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
What was that? I've never heard anything like that.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically,
She shakes her head.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
You're going to write Sulis law?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
Whoa. She cuts you off, her deft fingers already on the keyboard.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes. And we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Kim breathes out, trying to shake off the tension.
You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Right, so can we get our logic on? One quick change of outfit later.
Yes, what is it?
Form a theory on the 2mm hole in the world.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
Wait, how?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light. Drinking coffee and smoking with a friend.
Soona, it is the origin point of the Pale.
What?
The swallow. It's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
She looks up, and there's fear in her eyes as she considers the possibility. No, look up first. We're 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you.
The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No,
It's less than nothing, the final rest state of reality. Imagine if all this, spread your hands, never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply curdling milk.
But the milk, it clearly hasn't started curdling yet. We're here and the Pale is not.
One day, when it is larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes, like a cancer or a mold, erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long...
She's silent for a second. Until it starts swallowing. It's already started. Starting with sound.
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
Knows how to think this.
I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
It didn't form around the church. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Yes, acting on an instinctual level, or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area. All the failure in Martinez.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even, say, software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
All the failed businesses and ideologies. There's something wrong here.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
I should let people still working there know about this. They might be affected.
You mean Paisance and the Dicemaker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
Yes, both of them deserve to know.
Then go tell them.
One day, all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window, cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest, some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Ma'am, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
The club is the only thing keeping this place and the rest of reality together.
I wouldn't go so far as to...
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have anthropogenic detection to perform in this district.
Yeah, so I guess we should go warn people. See if I can. It looks like I can't get there by the map. That's a shame. Not here. Nope. Well, I'm trying. Nope. The fast travel seems to be very selective. It's definitely. And we can go from here. No, no, no. Oh, we just have to walk bigger words. How annoying. You can always skip this bit. Gone quite the right way. I don't think so. Gosh. Nah. Massively irritating. Oh hell. Where have I got myself? Birds in the beech tree bear the audible coos come from above. No wonder there was so little fake society ever behind it. I can't really seem to find my way. Generally. Ah! Bridge! Excellent. Okay. So, you go here. Right, there we go. Let's talk to the Dicemaker. Although we thought she was pretty safe. Everybody must be warned. We tell Gart. Is Gart? Can he be told? Dicemaker. Here she is.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I think I found the actual source of the curse.
You mean the curse that I'm spared of because I live outside its immediate reach?
It's a bit more complicated than I first thought it would be.
I'm listening.
Just say it. There's a 2mm hole in reality located in a church on the other side of the canal. I think it may be related to the Pale.
Excuse me? A 2mm hole in reality? This can't be true.
She sits up, visibly agitated.
I'm afraid it is, ma'am. Soona Lukanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, made the discovery.
Soona is involved in this?
She appears to take this in while the chatter from her headphones continues unabated.
So it's even worse than I thought. It's not just the commercial area that's cursed. is the entire world.
She looks outside the window where daylight has filled the yard.
What? No. I wouldn't go as far to say that the entire world was doomed.
Just Martinez?
She gives you a rueful smile and takes a look around.
In any case, thank you for stopping by. It's good to have an answer, even if I can't claim to understand it fully.
You're welcome. We try. Let's go tell, the book lady about it. Paisance? Yes, that was her name. Way out, way out, way out.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and
Place-
welcome to Crime, Romance,
Yes,
and Biographies of Famous People.
Paisance, I have something to tell you. I found the actual source of the doom.
What do you mean, the actual source?
She clutches her
Are
pendant
you talking about the
anxiously.
third presence?
She remembers. Good.
My investigation has led me to discover a 2mm entropic hole in reality. That's the source of the doom, both in the commercial area and in Martinez.
A what?
A tiny hole in reality. It may be connected with the Pale, an origin point of sorts. It would explain why historically so many things have ended in failure here in Martinez.
Ma'am, what he's saying is true. We found an anthropogenic anomaly in the small Pinewood church down the coast. I don't mean to be an alarmist, and more research is needed, but it's not looking good.
But that's not in any of the ancient texts. How am I supposed to protect my bookstore from that?
You can't protect it, not against Pale. Close up the shop and try to get as far away from this thing as possible.
Close the shop? But it's all I have. No, there must be a way, especially now that Annette is settling in at school again. She's finally making friends in this place. No, we can't leave Martinez, we can't.
She looks at her daughter, quietly studying in the corner of the shop. Where is the school, anyway?
Thank you for your help in any case. You're welcome back here any time.
Okay. That's all we can do, is warn. I'm gonna try warning the whirling as well. Gart. I found another thing.
Hey, was there something you need? Another thing. Great. Yes.
Apparently we can't tell him. Alright then. I'd have thought that he deserved to know. Fast travel still not working. Well, maybe this is just a sign of the doom and the failure. Yes, let's just take it as that. I don't think there's much more to do now except explore that placard thing, that big building. Yeah. I'll have to find it first. Over here somewhere. Not get around to it this way. Ah yes. Does he have anything else to say?
Hello again.
No. Okay, let's have another look at it then.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
So, encyclopedia, we can pull out our knowledge and understand what's caused the twins to hear the radio in their heads.
Let's see.
What?
Let's see.
How?
Just flicking through the index of your knowledge.
Oh, come on. We're on a schedule here.
Searching with all possible speed.
Well, we had a 3% chance of failure.
We
oh
have,
man, that's just so unlucky.
Radio brands, radio crimes, radio comedies, radio dramas, radio physics, radio psychics, radio scandals, radio shows, and way more in between. But nothing that would be useful here. Sorry.
I know about ULAN frequencies. Does that help?
You know little about ULAN frequencies other than that they exist. Maybe? It's impossible to say.
Radio is killing the fucking cop star. Come on.
What is he talking about?
The young boy looks to his father, frowning.
I am not sure, Mikhail.
He looks at you as if making an appraisal.
Let's move on. I don't think we need to stand around anymore.
We do.
Apologies.
We do, though.
You
Whoa.
just need time to remember.
Okay.
There has to be something there.
Shivers is very high.
Don't-
But, we can try that one. Oh, it's so annoying. I think, see, putting the clothing on every time. That's clearly what I have to do. Because, like, 1 point of difference, just like, yeah, you're gonna fail this. Shivers +1, or did we have better shivers with, no? Didn't we manage to get it up to shivers +3? Not that one, not that one. Aha, the tie. Right, +2 seems to be as good as it gets. Let's do it.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow, suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
Say, I think she's down there, below the building.
Okay. Why?
The twins did hear the radio from here, so something happened.
True. And Ruby does have radio experience, as evidenced by her lorry. But how do we even get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
There's a ladder next to the sign. Point to it. Perhaps we can climb it, enter through the roof?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70. There's also still a question of how the twins tuned into Speedfreaks FM.
You're right. You just want to dial your favourite radio station, don't you?
I'm only observing that there's another lead you wanted to follow.
You're right.
And that if you drop the radio lead now, just be prepared to leave without having done it.
Oh, what is this? What is this? I see a thing.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the Feld Building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement access.
Come closer and look in.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe.
I do have a torch.
The lieutenant looks over your shoulder.
What's in there?
The pipe is sleek with rain.
Okay, and what else?
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
And I've got a torch, for God's sake.
And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Free syringe? You'll be getting to the Feld Building through this pipe?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
The lieutenant pushes aside the reeds and looks around.
And it's right here.
Oh.
A maintenance door.
Oh. Well, we're very unlikely to be able to get in there. Because we're not friggin' strong enough. And try to dress for the occasion once more. And that's probably as good as it gets.
Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut
But this is
and
just
half sunken
pathetic.
in sand.
What if... No, we already have our tool in hand, but this one?
Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand.
Well, we can give it a try.
You and the lieutenant lean all your
Not
weight into pushing the doors
astonishing.
apart, but you're not quite synchronizing your efforts. They slam shut again before you can enter.
Damn it.
Let's take a breather and try this again later. It's very tough.
Sure is. I think possibly the ladder may be the best option. Is there another entrance there? Certainly not anything obvious. And we have very high success. We're good at this.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp.
Ow!
In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
190. I'm a giant.
Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead,
We tried that, and we can't get through the door.
what if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Be open-minded
What if
about
I
this.
don't climb it? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Come on, where's your adventurous spirit?
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now.
Well, let's try the outfit thing again. Okay, right, got to +2 savoir-faire, which we've never been that good at. Come on!
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop.
Okay, that's quite a bit better. But clearly, as we learned from our logic tests, we can still fail these things. Teleport to the roof! Go on! Teleport!
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
do it!
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I did it, Kim! I teleported!
I just saw you climb the ladder.
The
You just
lieutenant
climbed
shouts.
it like a regular person.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
the precarious world.
Oh, well, this is a good point to finish this thought, isn't it?
How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away, turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
Critical success and failure thresholds lowered by 1. Is that good? Seems kind of neutral. Okay. So, we've got up to the roof. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. So, the glass is covered with dirt and grime. You can barely see out. I think we'll continue exploring this way next time. Is Ruby down here? We'll find out. Next time on Let's Plays Disco Elysium. Be so kind, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Wow, that's a lot. Maybe just one of those things. And if you're inclined, go check out the Patreon. Thank you for watching, and farewell. Thank you to my epic patrons who make videos like these possible. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, don't forget to subscribe.